Was this crime solved by a household pet? This is the case of Glenna and Martin Durham. Glenna and Martin Durham had been married for 11 years. They lived in the Ensley Township in Michigan. They'd both been previously married and had children from those marriages. In 1995, Martin had suffered permanent damage from a car wreck. His condition had worsened in 2010, and Glenna became his permanent caregiver. Let's cut to the 13th of May in 2015. A neighbor who is friends with both of them hadn't heard from Martin or Glenna for a few days. The neighbor went over to the home and discovered both of them in the bedroom. The house had been pretty torn apart and there were broken items all over the living room. The police were called into the home. Lying on the bedroom floor was Martin. He had been shot 5 times. Glenna was also laying. She had been shot in the head. Police would believe that Glenna was dead for about an hour until one of them noticed she might be breathing. He went over to check her pulse, and as he did that, her eyes opened. She was rushed to the hospital. When she became stable, she had no memory of the incident. The day after Martin and Glenna were discovered, Martin's children would actually go over to the home and break in. As they were going through items, they found personal envelopes addressed to Glenna's children and her ex-husband. The contents of the letters were not direct confessions or suicide notes, but the wording made it seem that way, kind of like she was saying goodbye. Glenna herself says she does not recall writing these letters. The discovery of these letters put more suspicion on Glenna. Police had originally thought that there was a third party that went in and committed the crime, but with the discovery of the letters and also the fact that the murder weapon was found in the living room under a chair, suspicion was kind of pointing towards Glenna. She didn't have any memory of the incident, and there wasn't really anything police could do about it at the time. After Martin's death, his ex-wife had taken possession of his African gray parrot. About 2 weeks after having the parrot in her home, it started to reenact some very interesting conversations. In particular, the statement, "Don't effing shoot," in Martin's voice. Christina decided to record the reenactment of the parrot, and she submitted it to a local TV station. I'll show the video in part 2, and it's up now. Thanks, guys. The Glenna and Martin Durham case, part 2. So Martin's bird was named Bud, and he was known to copy a lot of what people said. He was even said to have a pretty foul mouth in general. He also was thought to know around 400 words. What I'm about to show you is believed to be Bud reenacting the night of the shooting with Martin and Glenna. If this is a little too much for you, go ahead and skip ahead. It should be around 35 to 40 seconds. After Christina had taken the video, she didn't tell anyone outside of friends or family about what the parrot had been saying for about 11 months. It was around 19 months before anyone was arrested for the crime. Although the video does seem incriminating, it was never actually used in court. Although it kind of seems that the media attention that came to the video of the parrot caused police to look into more suspicious things about Glenna. One strange thing that happened is that Glenna actually had a problem with gambling. This was known for a long time, and she was in charge of all the finances, being the caregiver. She had not been paying the mortgage for they estimated about a year, and the house was being foreclosed on. Martin at the time did not know and had found out just a few weeks prior to the shooting. Martin's mom had called him and said that she had seen the house being foreclosed on in the newspaper. The Glenna and Martin Durham case, Part 3. Police were able to find enough evidence to bring Glenna in for questioning. Police looked into her phone records and found that early in the morning, the day of the shooting, May 12th, she had been researching the type of gun that was used in the killing. After those searches, she had texted her mom that she loved her and that she was sorry. Glenna maintained that she did not do those internet searches. She also has said that she did not want to hurt her husband or herself. She had only felt that way after she found out that he had died. Family and friends made statements that Glenna had either joked or mentioned things about wishing that her husband was dead, or it would just be easier that he was dead. To this day, Glenna still maintains her innocence. She was found guilty of first-degree murder, and Glenna was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. So what do you guys think? Thanks for sticking it out with me, and stay safe out there.